I want to lead by reminding what South Node Virgo is about. South Node Virgo, it's getting to authenticity by getting us out of the way of our own pride and ego that insist on upholding narratives, ideals, and concepts of ourselves in contradiction with truth that suggests perfection in who we are. And this is as an individual. This is as your relationship status in the eyes of the people. This is your demographic. This is your race. This is your gender. Guess what? Every one of us, all colors and genders, we're all being exposed. Okay? Yeah, I said it. You can breathe now. You can loosen your ass cheeks. You can calm the fuck down and stop feeling singled out. Some of us are used to being examined and some of us are not. I'm very good at being direct. But the examination has to go around to everybody right now. Not just the ongoing narratives that had some people safer than others behind public narratives, generational narratives, societal narratives. We all are being exposed because we have to get to the authentic self. Let's say I'm walking around here with all kind of insecurities, right? I went to surgery and got a fake six-pack, or, I decided to get some hair implants. Something like that. So-and-so decided to get fake this and fake that. So-and-so has the illusion of having this certain status, but really the status is something else. We as humans, we pull off illusions of ourselves because we want people to think things of ourselves that's not true. Because we're afraid to accept what our status really is in actuality in this world, in this life. So we hide behind narratives. We hide behind ideals. We hide behind falsehoods. We put on and buy all kinds of fake stuff to sew and glue in our body, in our hair, in our face. We put up posts on Instagram and social media so people can say, oh, relationship goals. Oh, I need to be like that person. I need to do this and I need to do that. This is where we all are getting undressed, and we have to get to the real. And it's for individuals and collectives overall. It is normal to feel vulnerable and to feel naked during this time, and your ego can trigger you to anger. It can trigger you to have the reflex to fight back at something that's not even fighting you. The main characters of this society from the collective perspective, who's being examined, who's being humanized, are white males and feminists who enjoyed a streak of superiority. They're being humanized. They're falling from the grace of wax wings, flying too close to the motherfucking sun. And they're getting humanized. We have come to the end of the Wizard of Oz road. And we're looking behind that green curtain at that short little man behind there with the big voice. And we're saying, well, goddamn, this is who was behind here all that time? Making all that fucking noise? I was worried about you? You mean that's all you want? That's it? Yeah, the truth is coming out. Or some might say, oh, the infamous astrologist, he got issues. Why he trying to hurt people? He's so disturbing. Oh, I can't listen to him. It's negative vibes. I want positive vibes. Yeah, okay. You're bullshitting. You're bullshitting. We're coming to the truth of who we are, and we don't have hiding places anymore. We can't lie anymore. White superiority is exposed. It's a deflated balloon, a deflated bubble. Everybody knows the truth now. It's not insult. It's not shame. It's not hatred. It's the burden of truth against a legacy of falsehoods, exaggerations, and narratives that upheld an illusion of superiority as a guard against their insecurities and greed for power and domination and control over the planet Earth. And the time is up. That story is over. And it's the same with feminists who enjoyed a streak of illusion of superiority. You're better than your brother. You're better than your father. You're better than your husband. You're better than men. But the truth is we are equals. Though we are not the same. We have different aims. We have different purpose. But we are equal when we are ourselves. We are equal when we are authentic. We are not equal when you trying to be me. We're not equal when you as a woman are trying to be like me as a man. We're not equal at that point. Be yourself, and that is when you are equal to me. A deep exposure is taking place to get to the real person. The skirt is being lifted up and the genitalia is being exposed. Scorpio. It's a long walk through Scorpio. A whole motherfucking year in Scorpio. You're walking like you had a 13-inch dick. Your skirt got lifted and that motherfucker is 2.5 inches. I know it makes you feel insulted. I know it makes you feel small. It makes you feel embarrassed, humiliated, and like you have a reason to be defensive. But it's putting your ego where the fuck it need to be at. Nigga, you got a 2.5-inch dick and you're walking around here like you walking with 13 inches. Calm the fuck down and get in your right place. Stay in your motherfucking lane. Who are you? That's what the fuck this is. We don't have hiding places anymore. There's nowhere to run and escape. Everybody has to stand at attention and get examined. We're standing in line for the examiner. Bitches in society is getting a fucking pap smear in a spiritual sense right now. That ass, nigga. That's what the fuck going on. You're getting your fucking pap smear, nigga. And it feels awkward. It don't feel right. Bend over and cough. Yeah. Open your mouth. Say, ah. Yeah. This is why a lot of people don't like going to the doctor. Because it might be a report. The infamous astrologist is reporting symptoms, diagnosing. I'm doing what the fuck I do. You can take it personal if you want, but inevitably, this is what is transpiring by the forces and powers of this universe right now, and you ain't escaping the motherfucker. All of us are being judged, examined, purged on the fourth house context. Cancer. What the fuck you think fourth house is all about? Your ancestry. The legacy of your ancestry. The truth of your ancestry. The resume of your ancestry. The reputation of your ancestry. What you inherit of your ancestry. The burdens of your ancestors. That's why Mars passed through there. And Jupiter's trying to heal it. But we can't heal it in a lie. We can only heal it in the truth. Therefore, we have to be present in Scorpio. And it's uncomfortable. What is it about your collective fourth house ancestry that has made particular impacts and influences on society? Where did your dog take a shit in the society? Get the little baggies and pick up that hot warm ass shit and discard of it so you can have a clear conscience. That's all it takes. I know it smells funny. I know it's awkward when you gotta pick up that fucking boo-boo from that plastic, but that's what this is. We're all coming outside in the community and we're picking up our mess. And nobody gets to stand on a fucking moral high horse, pass an examination without bending over and coughing. Yeah, you gotta bend over and cough too. This is stop and frisk. This is a shakedown of the cell. The CO comes into the cell and turns over the mattress, knocks down all your shit, and you gotta pick it up after they finish looking for contraband. I know it's offensive. I know it's demoralizing. But it's what must be. I come from a legacy of toxic culture. Black men who womanize women. Taking pride in being players and gangsters and drug dealers, thugs and criminals. I come from a world of that. Going to prison, doing a bid and coming home is the rites of passage. You're not a man if you ain't did a bid. Coming home is the greatest celebration when that gate pops and you come out of prison and everybody clapping for you. You ain't shot nobody, you ain't knocked nobody out, you ain't did this, you ain't gangster. You don't get no credibility, you don't get no pussy, you don't get no nothing if you ain't gangster. If you ain't dangerous. We celebrate being dangerous. Studying gangster music and actually living it out. Consumerism, spending all kind of money on Jordan sneakers and expensive mall fashion and European fashion and blowing up money on expensive vehicles and still pulling up to the Section 8 projects, living off some woman, living off your grandma, living off your baby mama and all this other stuff. I come from a legacy of this sick culture. of niggas being niggas. And only through aligning with the truth, as humiliating as it was, I had to accept that I participated in that filth. I represented that filth. I condoned and protected and defended that filth. And I found who I was. I discovered who I really am. And I take pride today in knowing that I'm a Moor. I'm not a nigga. I'm not black. I'm not colored. I'm not African American. I'm nothing that white men told me I am. I'm who the fuck I know I am. And I'm being it. How hard was that? But when I ask you to do the same thing, when I offer you the same opportunity that you running the fuck away from, I'm the bad guy. Get your shit together. Because we all gotta go through this. What is your household, your demographic, your nationality, your race, your people? What are you doing to fuck up this world? Admit it. Come clean. Turn your head in the right direction. Atone. And atonement is to be proactive in outliving that image, that stigma, that culture, that shame, that guilt, that stain, to outlive it. To work against it. To hold others accountable to it. If that's not what we doing, we playing right now. Don't tell me you spiritual if all you doing is writing fucking poems. Closing your eyes and hoping that a wish come true. How do you not understand that you gotta work for it? Put your money where your mouth is. Having a clear conscience, it makes you more bold. When you got a guilty conscience, you're not bold. You're just obnoxious, expressing out of fear, narcissistic. But boldness is different. Boldness is a carrier for authenticity. It's a carrier for truth. It's a carrier for creativity. It's a carrier for sincerity. And all that it must resist in order to express. That is boldness. And you have to have a clear conscience to be bold. Not the cowardice of who or what can I blend in with to get away with saying this or doing this? Who and what can I blend in with to feel safe to say or do this? That's not boldness. That's cowardice. It's fear. It's the same thing like when you walk upon a cat and a hair stands up on his back. You walk up on a dog and it starts barking. It's fear that makes it do that. Fear. Boldness is different. It is an Aries trait. The Aries trait, it flows naturally in a fire trine. This is what we trying to get to. Aries Neptune, am I my own ideal? So the water triangle, the grand trine that we have in the water is trying to get us at where we become bold finally. Where we get out of the cowardice. The fear-based behaviors. Do you have a clear conscience? When you're next to, when you're around, when you're associated with truth, authenticity, and sincerity being expressed, does it make you uncomfortable? Does it make you feel nervous? Do you start scurrying around trying to make yourself feel comfortable because boldness is being expressed? Boldness is being demonstrated. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? The compatibility of such energy is Uranus. That's what it's getting us to. The bold expression of Aries is Uranus. It's the bold expression of the self that makes victory over such resistance to its identity, its expression, its authenticity, what is unique about it, what is sincere to the core, what is natural and true to the core and essence of his being. Not having fear, hesitation, shame, or guilt in expression. You just flow. That's when the spirit flows naturally. That's when the Holy Spirit becomes harmonious with the self. That's where we got to get to. The contaminations in the water, the emotions, the gut, Cancer, the inner constitution and instincts, Scorpio, root chakra, Pisces, the subconscious. These things got to be cleared up. It's a lot of bullshit in there. I'm just provoking it. That's what I'm doing. I'm just provoking it. But look how many of y'all niggas take off and run. You get the fuck out of Dodge. Can't handle that shit. Make you nervous, don't it? You gotta shit on yourself. Clutching your pearls. Oh my God! Did he say that? Oh my God! Who has a clear conscience? I have a clear conscience. So I'm able to flow naturally and authentically. Are you free like that? Do you have that level of freedom? Did you set yourself free like that? You can if you want to. You can. If you want to, you can flow free too. You could be real too. You could be authentic too. Look at you. Before every expression, you look left and right. Who's gonna charge me for this? Who's gonna punish me if I'm gonna be? Nigga, you shook. Every day you get up and you scared as a motherfucker to be yourself. Shook. Scared shitless to be yourself. Look at you. You're scared. Ain't you tired of being scared? Clear your conscience. We get there by the waterwork. And when it comes to the waterwork, it's about healing. It's about forgiveness of the self and forgiveness of others. It's about transparency with the self and transparency with others. It's about recovering compassion for the self and compassion for others, leading with that intention. It's about the willingness of facing whatever truths are necessary to get to the root of where my inconsistencies come from, where my fraud comes from, where my self-betrayal comes from, where the disconnect of myself comes from, where the self-infliction comes from, where the self-undoing comes from, where the addictions are coming from, where the escapism is coming from. Why am I lying to myself? Why do I deceive myself? Why do I cheat myself? Why do I betray my own wisdom? And in that reflection, seeing that every other person is going through the same struggle. So forgiveness can be afforded. Compassion can be afforded. And we know how to meet someone where they're at to heal them. We know how to meet them where they're at to walk them to security. We know how because we did it with ourselves. It's about atonement. We walk this earth to know what it's like to do crimes against ourselves and others, to be unjust to ourselves and to others, to abuse ourselves and others, to wrong ourselves and others, to be contradictions and hypocrites. We walk the earth knowing what it is like and what it means and what the consequences of such is. Because without it, we would never experience the degrees and expressions of love, which includes compassion, forgiveness, forbearance, humility, atonement, reconciliation, healing, and what it takes to manifest those principles. It's the only way. We came here for this reason. But when our pride and fear prevents us from manifesting these values, principles, and powers from our self of light, we get stuck in that matrix, putting on the mask, hiding behind the mask, while the fear, the shame, the guilt, it wreaks havoc within the self. It goes to war within the self. And we manifest that same chaos wittingly and unwittingly, but have not cultivated the strength and the courage, the boldness to confess to it, so it continues on, doing harm to the self and others, because we're not interested in finding the courage to make that confession. Confess. Admit it. Admit that you are just as human as every person. Admit that you are participating in what corrupts this life, what corrupts this world, what corrupts your family, what corrupts your relationship. That you are 1/2 or 1/3 or 1/8 or 1/4 or whatever fraction it is, you're contributing to what you're getting out of it. And you have an option, you have a choice to change that. Just admit it. It's not hard. He talking about white people. He talking about black women. He over there talking about nigga this and nigga that. Yeah, I'm saying it because I got a clear motherfucking conscience. So I'm free to say it. And you free to say it too. Fuck is you talking about? Nigga, I'm free. Free as a motherfucking bird. I get to enjoy a clear conscience because I'm not afraid to look at the dark. I'm not afraid to look at my own sins and admit it. I'm not afraid to admit my own corruption. I'm not afraid to acknowledge that I am an agent of the darkness in the same way that I'm an agent of the light. I can admit it. I don't allow it to be an excuse. Are you free? Come on, we all know the truth. We all know the saying that the truth shall set you free. But what does that look like? Truth ain't the facts. Truth ain't the data and statistics. Truth is that which is evident to the depth of the soul. That's truth. And to get down there, you got to go through Scorpio. You got to go through Pluto. That means you got to look at things that's hard to look at. You got to hear things that's hard to stomach. It means confessions along the way. Surrender. Acceptance that is painful or even humiliating. We have to get to the truth to get to the freedom. What is your reality without Saturn and Pluto? What is it? It's just a poem. It's just a piece of art. It's a delusion. It's a lie. It's a concept. But nothing about it is real until Saturn and Pluto. And that's what we don't want to fuck with. We don't want to fuck with that. Sweetness, sugar, flavors, microwave, quick, fast, hurry, instant. Yeah. What? Am I old school? Jupiter is in trine with Mars, and Mars is conjunct Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. You know that Jupiter is in Cancer. And what this trine suggests is that Mars is wanting to advocate for or produce assertive efforts for Black Moon Lilith's grievances. And that trine with Jupiter is the father of Mars as a mentor that's keeping Mars aligned with moral commitment as he strives to construct a solution, a constructive solution for Black Moon Lilith's complaints or grievances of shame, guilt, and inadequacy in the depth. And what is it that's in the depth? Our own instinctual commitment to ourselves that suggests to us that there's a leak in our power. There's a loss of power. There's a lack of power. And I need empowerment. I have to feel empowered. I no longer want to give my power away. And I no longer am interested in anyone who's exercising inappropriate powers over me. It's preventing me from the level or the depth of intimacy that I want to enjoy in life, the fulfillment that I want to have, the sense of independence and empowerment that I know I am here to enjoy and receive. And I'm willing to go to war for it. I'm willing to fight for it. But I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. And Jupiter is co-signing this conviction with Mars. So we can fight for it without losing our dignity, without clouding or burdening our conscience, keeping our conscience clear in how we go about doing this. Jupiter is also maintaining its gravity with loyalty to the inner child and what we fought for when Mars was in Cancer. So it's the Father saying to Mars, remember what you fought for. Remember what it took. Remember what you suffered for. Don't forget what it took to reestablish that connection with your inner child, the bond with the inner child, this level of integrity that you get to enjoy today with the inner child. Don't forget what it took to win and earn the trust of inner child. And that becomes the why factor. And that why factor is the driving determination that pushes the knife of Aries, the identity. I must assert the authenticity of my identity regardless of who the fuck don't like it. Regardless of what the consequences are. And my benefit of the doubt to every person is that I will honor my inner child, I will honor myself, I will honor my values, I will honor my own commitment to integrity and moral limitations and accountability by keeping sight into the competence and justice of Jupiter in all of my doings. But I am not going to accept what is unacceptable anymore. There's a big conversation going on in the heavens of the self. But all I'm trying to remind y'all niggas of is you gotta stop being fucking fake. The goody two-shoe. Stop being fake. Humility wins the war. I'll narrate a story to you. And I explained this story before. One day, Obatala, or Jupiter, Obatala being the father of Orishas, the god of light, the chief of the white cloth, he was having differences with his son, which was Shango, Uranus, or Uranus, however you want to say it, tomato, tomato. He was having differences with his son Shango or Uranus, okay? Jupiter was having differences with Uranus. So, he wanted to reconcile with his son and make peace, have a peace treaty with his son. And this, you could say, is a square, okay? Jupiter square Uranus. And he went en route to reconcile with his son Shango. So he put on his traditional white garment, looking splendid in his white garment and his perfectly black skin. And he set out on that journey, feeling proud of how he looked, proud of how he felt. The Jupiter energy, of course. Optimism, creativity, flamboyancy, feeling bigger than life. Understand? Walking with his diddy bop. No diddy. But anyway. So he's on pathway, on route to go reconcile, make a peace treaty with his son, who he's in square with. And in doing so, he came across another one of his sons, which is Esu. That is Isu Dara, or Papa Legba, the Lord of the Crossroads. So, the Lord of the Crossroads is one of mischief. This is Mercury. This is Mercury. And this Lord of mischief, he obviously takes duality and raises it to wisdom or love. Okay, standing between darkness and light. And so, he wanted to correct what he was able to see with the all-seeing eye, as Esu has the all-seeing eye. He was able to observe that there was something that was in the way in that square between Obatala and Shango. And so, he was preparing a pot of food which began with palm oil. And palm oil is a dark red, murky oil. It's a very thick and hearty oil. It's a dark red color. And so he has this ladle where he's heating up the palm oil. And it's like a 7 of swords type energy. You know, he has one eye open, you know, looking at him, but he has this plan, you know, in his head, you know. So, Obatala gets closer, and Esu begins to demonstrate a struggle. I only need to get this pot to the other side. If only I could get help to move this pot over to the other side. So he sees Obatala. Oh, Obatala, my father, I greet you. Oh, yes, my son, I greet you, Esu. What is it that you're doing? Well, I just have a hard time getting this pot of palm oil to the other side. Maybe you can help me. You get one side, I get the other. So Obatala grabs one side. Esu grabs one side. And they begin carrying it across the road. And what happens? Esu deliberately spills it on Obatala. Of course, he made it seem like it was an accident, but he deliberately did the shit. He spilled the palm oil on Obatala's perfectly white garment. And he's on his way to go see his son. So, Obatala went hysterical. Oh no, you messed up my white garment. It was a perfectly white garment. Now it has stain. I gotta wash this off. I can't possibly go to see my son like this. So in duality, okay, follow what I'm saying here. Duality, Mercury, Gemini, duality. The duality of the situation looks like a crisis in the square between Jupiter and Uranus. Jupiter, the flamboyance of the self, exaggerated confidence in the self that wants to go and find route to the authenticity of the self. It's in square with each other and how to get to that route. So Mercury presents a duality in the situation that leads to humility. Humiliation, that is, so that humility can be recovered in the spirit. So the stain caused humiliation in Obatala. And what that did was it tempered and modified the Jupiter expression to come into a natural disposition rather than an exaggerated disposition. So now the humiliation leads to the spirit of humility in Obatala. And because Obatala now is walking the rest of the route in a spirit of humility because of the stain in his shirt, it's the perfect energy to arrive at reconciliation with his son Uranus. So, do you get what the fuck I'm telling y'all niggas with this story? I'm pointing out the fact that in all of your white garments, all your niggas out there who got white garments on, including myself, I'm putting a fucking stain on your shit, nigga. That's what the fuck I'm doing. I'm putting a stain on your white garment. I'm spilling palm oil on that motherfucker. I'm deliberately spilling that shit all over you. So you can find some humility. And get off your fucking high horse. Nobody's in position for the fucking arrogance that we're passing around with from demographic to demographic, people to people, family to family, relationship to relationship, society to all this other shit. I'm pouring the palm oil on every last one of y'all motherfuckers' garments. And I'm going around taking my motherfucking time. Black, white, Chinese, who give a fuck? Guess what? All of us got stains in our fucking garment, and I'm pointing them motherfuckers out. The duality may be very uncomfortable. What is he talking about? Oh, here we go again. I don't feel like hearing this. Positive vibes only. I'm trying to vibrate higher. I'm trying to ascend to a higher frequency. I don't need the negative energy. You're hustling backwards. Because what you think you're accomplishing, you're really undoing it. I'm spilling the palm oil on your garment.